Hey everyone, it's your girl Jennifer Denny, aka the Black Honey Badger. My next blog post is called My Open Letter to Black Boys and Men. Here we go. After having a conversation with someone who I care about very much and whose thoughts and ideas are very important to me, I started to think about the reasons behind our acculturation. How, what, and why we think about our roles and black men in general. I started to think about my interactions with black men. First, I wondered why, when I tell them what they mean to me, they just seem to nod and say, okay. But I know they don't believe me. To me, it seemed like if he couldn't provide for me, maybe he thought he was useless to me. A couple years ago, he might have been right. But how sad is that? Let's be honest. We want in a mate what we have been acculturated to want. For example, someone with a decent, steady job, someone who can communicate well, who thinks about my needs and seeks to fill them before I ask. But again, I have to ask myself, are these the things I want because I want them or because I've been acculturated to want them? What is culture? Merriam-Webster defines culture as the customary beliefs, social forms, and material traits of a racial, religious, or social group. Also, the characteristic features of everyday existence, such as diversions or a way of life shared by people in a place or time. And B is the set of shared attitudes, values, goals, and practices that characterize an institution or organization. The same friend I was talking to explained culture to me as what we do when no one is around. The voice in our head that guides us to make the decisions we make. But what I wanted to know more than anything was, where did our acculturation come from? Now I know what you're thinking. I've said it in other posts. Mama. Yes. And of course, we could then go back to her mama and her mama. But what I mean is, where did it all come from? Our values and the things that we think we want and how we interact with others came from whiteists that took us from our homeland and brought us here to help build this land. So our culture is not actually ours. It's a placeholder culture that stems from the same place where our last name stemmed from. White people took our names, our values, beliefs in our God or gods, and replaced it with their own. They stripped us of our identity and gave us replacements. That is why it's not working for us. It doesn't fit. Not only that, but also with the advent of feminism, we have become acculturated to view black men as our enemy. You hear it as you grow up. I'm sure your mama told you, girl, don't trust no man. Men ain't shit. You have two strikes against you. You are black and you are a woman. You have to run farther, jump higher, swim faster to be happy. And you have to be prepared to do it all by yourself. Don't expect no man to help you. My only question about all of that to our mamas is, does it work? Is making an enemy of black men working for our collective as a whole? And if it does not work, who benefits from the way it is right now? And also, where do we get the theory that the backbone of our community ain't shit? Think about it. Our acculturation is just killing us. Think about war. If you're prosecuting a war, your best defense is to take out the strongest among your enemies. Their objective is to eradicate the black collective. So they sleep with us black women and destroy black men, thereby whitening the gene pool. They're using the same method that they use to gentrify our neighborhoods on us. I really need you to wake up and smell the coffee. They are killing black men, and they are co-opting us, giving us the Kool-Aid to drink and other benefits. We have signed on to the destruction of our race. And we have happily done this just so they won't turn their gun on us and show pale people that we can be bought for a price. Like in my last post, the price is everything. Is it worth it? This is not a blame the black woman post. I don't blame us, but baby, they are killing our men, our babies, our fathers, lovers, and brothers, our beautiful men. If it's not gunning them down directly, it's the school to prison pipeline, mass incarceration. Then when they're in prison, they begin the psychological mind fuck, if they're lucky. And if they're not, the other inmates will rape and perhaps beat them, sometimes to death. So again, they are killing us and we refuse to see it. Imagine something, if you will. Imagine a beautiful brand new baby is born. They open their eyes and see this world. At 11 months, they've been scalded on their foot. At 2, they've been bent over a white ottoman and whipped until the ottoman bleeds red rivers. Then they are thrown into a bath of hot water and alcohol. At 7, they were placed in a group home because of an accident. They went from the group home where they were placed on psychotropic medicines and beaten to prison at 18 years old, where they were raped and brutalized. Got out and got in some more trouble and went back in, where they got more time to be raped and beaten. In between jail stints, they overdosed on embalming fluid because who would want to be sober with the life they had lived? Then back to prison they go. When they get out the final time, they realize they've spent most of their entire life in prison. So now they realize that their life is forfeit. They have spent their best productive years behind bars. What else do they have to look forward to? So one day they decide to end their miserable life. So they go back to the point of their acculturation, mama, and end their life. Now imagine, if you will, if this was a black woman's experience. Imagine if we were the target of the killings, mass incarcerations, etc. Every man of black descent would ride to our rescue, and there would be an all-out war over this country to come to our rescue. Or they would do what they're doing right now, which is nothing but blame them and continue to cultivate more black boys and turn them into sacrifices so that we can continue to receive snippets of that soothing elixir, that powerful drug called white acceptance. But they don't, nor will they accept you. Nothing you can do will gain their approval. I know, I'm one of you, surrounded in a sea of pale people just trying to live life. I used to wear wigs because I didn't like or accept my hair's texture, and I wanted it to be thinner. Because those are the things that I have been taught to want. To fit in and not stand out and be the individual I was born to be. I also wanted to be lighter skinned and have lighter eyes, but that's a conversation for a different post. It took the love and support of a wonderful man to see what he saw in me. That no matter how I wear my hair, as long as it's mine and natural, he would love me and I can love myself. As I said before, there are mirrors. They see us and our struggles. Almost as good, if not better, than we see ourselves. All we have to do is reach out and see theirs. They are waiting with their arms open like a baby, just waiting to be picked up. Pick them up, baby. There is an infinite amount of words that I can say about black men. And hear me when I say men. Not mimetic white males, not black males, men. I love all black men. I love them from birth to maturity. I have an inherent respect for who and what they are, their strength, dignity, and their beauty. Yes, black men are beautiful. I know it's hard to trust anything I'm saying, and I know why. The main problem is the assumption of malice. Black people, we don't just mistrust each other, we assume the worst in each other. We treat each interaction either like war or with the prostitution mindset. Time is money. I spend my time, you spend your money. Have you asked yourself, why is your time so cheap? Or why we equate time with money? If pale people really paid us our worth, black women, they'd be broke. It's just that simple. Choose to spend your time with a black man, no strings. He would see your inherent value. Because honestly, the world is making sure he couldn't afford it. Tax the pale man and get the black man in time without a price tag. Working together, like I stated the last time, will be more beneficial to you both. So I wanted to say with an open heart and open arms that I love you, black man, and I would pull each one of you up. I don't want nothing more than to see we all get what we deserve and more. Thank you so much for listening to your girl. And as always, to my black honey badgers, keep your claws sharp, your hearts pure, and your minds clear.